Hi there, this is Chloe from Inner Whispers, and today I have a real treat. This box arrived yesterday, and when I opened it and saw what it was, I put it all back so that you could open it with me. Here we have a parcel from Inner Hue with the Lumina Tarot and the Connected and Free Oracle. And I shall open them separately because otherwise this video might get long, and that way also you can find them more easily. So it also came with a huge hello from sunny East Coast Australia and a very pretty thank you card, as well as another thank you specifically for the Lumina Tarot. And here are the two parcels, and I'm guessing this one is the tarot. So we'll do the tarot first. So straight away we notice lovely packaging here, and let's dive into it. It's a lovely sturdy box, opens inside nicely and easily, and the cards inside are shrink wrapped, and the box has beautiful detail on the inside also, both top and bottom. So very nice quality here straight away in the packaging. And let's take a look through all of the cards. So many people have spoken of this as being similar to the Wild Unknown Tarot, but perhaps with a more human feel to it, because as you can see there are lots of humans on these cards as opposed to the Wild Unknown where it is literally all animals. But there are still a lot of animals in this deck, and it does also have that quite simple colour palette, a lot of black and white, and then just spots of colour, explosions of colour. Some very beautiful images, and powerful ones at that. I really like this Justice. Some astrological symbolism on there too. This one is just wild. Interesting coloration for the Strength card. I always think of this as rather more golden. And there's some Kabbalistic symbolism, some astrological symbolism, purely black and white death. I'm not quite sure what this is. Interesting. So some very beautiful, powerful imagery. Much of it is quite simple, and yet there is also clearly a great deal of artistic skill here. Lauren is someone who's quite comfortable drawing human figures and more fey figures and animals, as well as these more iconic, the miners are semi-illustrated, I guess. Certainly not full landscape, but far from being mere pips. Beautiful crystal grid for the Four of Wands, I love it. And what a battle. So some are very simple, a lot of black, a lot of white. Cards are a little sticky just straight out of the box. And I've noticed that all of the tens are of animals, which is an interesting choice. And then when we actually come to the courts, those are humans with the animal that we've just had at the 10. And the courts are the maiden, the knight, the queen, and the king, which I'm perfectly happy with. And all, as I say, with that iconic animal of the suit. This deck feels like it will be very easy to read, very beautiful to read with. The cardstock is a little thick, thicker than, for example, a Lo Scarabeo type deck. I'm not always hugely keen on thicker cardstock, but it does feel nicely supple as well, so we'll see how it shuffles. And certainly the imagery is just fabulous. How rocky is our path moving away from where we are, but is it worth it for reaching into the light? Interestingly, butterflies for cups. Okay, so there don't seem to be any butterflies on the Maiden of Cups. In fact, instead we have snakes on all of the Cups courts, so it's not the same creature that was on the 10. And, oh yeah, he does have a snake down here. The aces. Some interesting geometric patterns and colours. This card is just beautiful. That, for me, could almost be the stars card rather than the actual star card, which doesn't seem very star-like. This is gorgeous. Not quite sure what to make of that. I remember the book saying something that seemed, traditional. This one, though, is super cute. The Eight of Swords is one of my go-to cards, and this one just is fabulous. You've got to love that. We have a vulture on the Ten of Swords, but hawks of some kind on the actual court cards. Maiden, knight, queen, and king. And finally the Pentacles. There are a lot of bees in this deck, which I always love. The connection to the goddess and the reminder of the importance of nature in our lives. This is a quite powerful Five of Pentacles. Hard times indeed when you have nothing but half a rotted apple. And this is a beautiful flow of give and take in the Six of Pentacles. This Seven of Pentacles certainly has the idea of time, and a prickly cactus that's in flower. A moth. And both a bee and a bear on the Ten of Pentacles. Sweet abundance. Bees, oh no, flowers, and a little cute cub bear on the Maiden of Pentacles. I do like that, and the green colour works beautifully. The Knight of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. Altogether, these cards are really beautiful. As I say, they form quite a thick stack, impossible to hold in one hand, just falls out. It's almost double. So I'm not always a huge fan of thick cards. Other people do like them. That's personal preference. Remembering to show the backs this time. Nice and simple and fully reversible, clearly. And if we take a look at the guidebook, this is also very beautiful. Although it's square and not huge in that regard, it is so much more than a little white book. Very beautifully presented, lots of art in it, a bunch of spreads at the outset, and then discussion of the basics of the suits. And then we move into the cards themselves. Each card has a grayscale scan and a description, including a shadow. And while they are traditional, Lauren has come up with very nice ways of expressing them sometimes, and a personal take. And I also especially like the little sort of key phrase at the top: Fool going your own way, the Magician is alchemy, the High Priestess studying your wisdom within, the Empress flourishing growth. So we have that for all the cards, and then the same level of detail, perhaps shorter text, but nevertheless. Back yourself and be the light for 7 of Wands. The joy of blossoming for the Ace of Cups. Knight of Cups, be bold in your love. Altogether, it's a very well presented, well put together book. The packaging is delightful, and the quality of the artwork and the writing is extremely good. So, highly recommended. Blessed be.